So over the last couple of days, I've watched my friends on Facebook and Twitter post a lot of interesting analysis of the election. But a lot of it says either Trump still has a path to 270 and the White House, or Biden is president-elect, so get over it. I understand both of those positions, but at the end of the day, we need to kind of think about what actually just happened. So on election night and the ensuing days, we get the unofficial count. That's what the media looks at and calls the different states and awards them in terms of who won the Electoral College. Based on that count and where we are right now, Joe Biden is indeed the president-elect. But between the time we get those unofficial results and the time those elections are certified, which means we've dotted the I's, we've crossed the T's, the states have looked at it and said these are certified, complete election results, the Trump campaign can jump in and say, no, actually, there was fraud here. This vote was illegally cast. These votes should not have been counted. They can cover any number of different challenges, and they certainly will do so over the next couple of weeks before those vote totals are certified. And if they found enough evidence of fraud that it swung enough states to give an electoral college victory to Trump, hey, that's a big deal. But in, for example, Bush v. Gore, we were talking about the state of Florida, where you swing one state, it's a big difference in the outcome of the election. It's the whole election. Here, it would have to be a number of states at this point. So the hurdle for the Trump campaign is pretty significant. But for Democrats who find this annoying, want Trump to concede and just move along, it's actually better to have those challenges launched and addressed before those vote totals are certified, because the bigger issue here is we have to trust the process. We have to have confidence that when the votes are counted and we all have our say, that the result is something that we can have confidence in. And if you're somebody on social media that's saying, hey, this election was stolen, and a lot of my conservative and Republican friends, I see them doing this right now. Hey, if you know of a situation where enough votes were fraudulently cast to change the outcome of the Electoral College, by all means, I know a campaign that is deeply interested in hearing from you. If you read something on social media that makes you think maybe there was some fraud, and you have no direct knowledge, running around screaming that we should contest the results, that we should not trust this, that everything is fake, that's a big problem, because America works because the losers accept the results of an election. I don't like to lose, ever. Basically, nobody does. But if our republic works, it's because people ultimately say, hey, the votes were cast, we didn't get as many as we needed, and we lost. Yeah, you're still going to whine, you're still going to complain, you're still going to say a lot of things. That's what Democrats have been doing for the last 4 years. And I get it, Republicans find it rich that now we can heal after Democrats have said, hey, we're going to say whatever we want about anyone on the Republican side for the last 4 years. Yes, I understand. In politics, there's a lot of hypocrisy. But fundamentally, if there's one thing we can agree on, it's that we need confidence in the systems and the structures. So if you don't have evidence of fraud, if you don't have evidence that, hey, this election is illegitimate, don't try to take the legitimacy away from the election. Because guess what? In 4 years, in 8 years, in however many years, we're going to keep doing this. And if every time the side that loses tries to act like the results are not legitimate, eventually we have a big problem as Americans, not just partisans. So if you have evidence of fraud or some sort of illegality, please contact the right campaign right now. Otherwise, be really, really careful delegitimizing an election in the greatest country on earth.